Taking some time out in the stalls to meet Bill. Now, Bill Dixon's actually here representing a couple of communities and councils that are doing a really good job, not only saving the environment, helping out the environment, but having a lot of fun at the same time. Bill, congratulations and welcome to our coverage.
Thank you. Well, we're basically here to represent, I guess, for a whole range of community programs that are out there making a difference. I'm from a regional organisation, the Hawke's European Catchment Management Authority, but we're here to actually work with community, provide the resources, promote their programs, and they just do amazing stuff. All of these projects here have been designed by community people. They range from really adventurous stuff, being helicoptered into remote areas, coming out in rubber rafts, working to protect world heritage, working to protect threatened species, and basically we're just trying to get people to realise that there's opportunities out there. It's a lifestyle thing. You can turn up for a weekend, you can turn up 4 or 5 times a year. It's your choice, but you can come and have a great time working to improve the environment.
Dave, you're working on a no power, no pants. Talk to me about what's going on. People are dropping their pants to raise money to save the environment. It's a novel idea, but I think you might need to explain it a little bit more for the viewers.
Yep, okay, so basically what we're trying to do is to get 500 people to commit to taking off their pants until they raise $500 each. That's to set up a community cooperative and try and get a renewable energy plant up and running here on the Central Coast.
And the guys behind this, they're just a bunch of young kids that are just switched on and putting all this together. There's no, Albert Einstein's involved here. What's the sort of age group with the kids that are putting this together?
Okay, so they're all aged 15 to 18.
Yep.
They're students that have just finished their school certificate and high school certificates,
Yep.
Stayed back at school when all their other friends were at the beach and put this campaign together. So.
Now, I understand that you've been busy as well. You've been very busy here in the lead up to the event. Tell us about what you've been doing.
Yesterday we ran a land care event. The landowner here is amazing. He's really keen on rehabilitating his streams. So we had volunteers yesterday, just people in the campsite came up and helped, and we put in about 600 plants.
Wow.
And we hope that'll become an annual event so that over the years the festival is going to rehabilitate the whole stream that goes through the site.
That's excellent. Now, how long did it take to plant 600 trees? Because to me, that seems like more than a day's work.
We just totally underestimated. We got a great great response from people.
Yeah.
If we'd known how much we'd actually achieve, we would have bought 10 times as many plants, and we only took an hour and a half. We could have spent the whole afternoon and put in a lot more. So next year it'll be a much bigger event.
Doesn't that go to show, with a little bit of help, that you can, make such a huge impact in an hour and a half? You've got another 600 trees there.
It's the whole thing. The number of hands just diminished the job, but the great thing was there were little kids there, and they're doing their bit, and they're learning from an early age that they're custodians to the environment as well. So. It's that whole educational aspect as well. It's not just the tree, it's what you learn by planting a tree.
What is it about the sort of the working with the environment that attracts you to it?
Yeah, I don't know, I just enjoy being out in the outdoors and seeing what nature has to give. I think education needs to be a massive part, which is what I try and incorporate into my tours. Try and send people home with knowing a bit more than what they did when they woke up that day.
Now that we're thinking about being sustainable, there's a lot that we can look at in the Aboriginal culture that can teach us how to be sustainable in our more consumer society.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's what we'll be doing too, touching on those particular facts within the workshops, like the structure of totems and our skin groups, and how we're all interrelated, not just within the confines of the human being aspect of it, why we have totems and why we have this, why we have that, why we shake our legs like this, why we make all these so-called crazy sounds, because it's all interconnected with Mother Earth.
Right.
Because if I say na yaganya gabanyamba, nyenda gabanyamba, nayani gabanyamba, na yaganya bawilli gaba yogal maramali gabanyamba jalato minyagara, which pretty much means in a nutshell in English, I am the earth because you are the earth. But guess what? We all the earth together. There's no differentiation between us as human beings, the animals to us, the elements, etc., etc. It's just all one. It's the one. It's just all about oneness.
You don't minimize your footprint. You keep your footprint to an appropriate level.
Yep.
Minimize makes everyone miserable because there's no way you can actually reach a point where you say, okay, I'm okay. I'm not contributing to the world's problems because I'm using my share.
Yeah.
Now, my share in a like globally, your share of footprint is about 1.5 hectares. The average Australian uses 10. So you've basically got to go from an average Australian down to about a fourth of it. And the way to do it is to be happy. If you're happy, you don't need to go for overseas trips, you don't need to buy a car every year, you don't need to do the fancy spending of money stuff. And the money comes from digging stuff out of the ground so that you can make yourself happy.